just to be safe. Okay.
Hi, so for this episode we are doing an audience choice, which is the inflation and recession on the Navajo Nation. And me not being an economicist, what is the term? Economicist?
Economist. It's okay.
We're recording for hours. Anyways, so what have you noticed about the inflation and recession?
I've noticed that it costs so much more money now to fill up my gas tank than it did before. So I drive diesels, and I have a diesel car, and usually it would take about $45 to fill it up, or before, like, you know, things got bad, but it would be about $45 to fill it up. And, like, for example, I traveled all the way from my home, which is, like, pretty far away, to here on, like, a quarter tank of gas, you know, so it's pretty good. It gets about, I don't know, close to 50 miles to the gallon.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, like, pretty good. And now it's, like, over $70 to fill it up.
Oh, no.
And my truck, oh, my God. I drive a kind of a big truck,
Mm-hmm.
and it's, like, over $120 to fill it now.
Yeah, that's like the same with
So,
my grandma's truck.
It's not cool.
Like before it would take $20 to fill up halfway, and now
Mhm.
it's doubled that, like $40 to fill it up
Mhm.
halfway. And I know people are like, well, then don't drive a truck. It's like some places you need,
a truck
to drive.
Yeah, especially on the res.
Like, because she has to haul water and she has to haul
Mhm.
wood. You can't do that in a tiny little car that's gas friendly.
For real, and if you have a little car, like, it gets beat up on the res, you know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
I have a car when I have to zip around, like, on the highways. But, like, if I need to do anything else, like, off-road, even to visit some of our neighbors,
Mhm.
like, our friends, you have to go on a dirt road and everything to get to their house, you need a truck. Because we used to have a little Golf, a VW Golf, and we're driving to their house for a cookout, and there's, like, this dip, and we punctured a hole in the oil pan, I think.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and it just, that sort of stuff happens.
We did that with my grandma's car before when she
Mhm.
used to have, like, a tiny little car.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even, like, a big thing like that. We were just driving from my house to her house on a
Mhm.
dirt road,
Mhm.
and a little rock flung up and just, like, shot into her gas tank and punctured it.
Yeah, the res is crazy, man. You need, like, for the most part, you need a truck.
Mm-hmm.
I've always said that. So, anyways, I've also noticed that materials cost a lot more now. Like, I've been
Mhm.
wanting to build a fence for the longest time, and materials now are so expensive.
Oh,
It's just not. I can't do it now.
Like, we had to fix my grandma's shed.
Mhm.
Like, a wood panel or a wood section flew
Mhm.
off from all the wind we've been having. And she's like, oh, yeah, we bought, like, a bunch of these. They're, like, $7 when we bought them. We went to
Mhm.
Home Depot, like, earlier this summer,
Mhm.
and it was, like, $35 for just
the
one
heck?
section. And before, she said they were, like, $7. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's not, like, the most expensive
Mhm.
wood panel.
Mhm.
And so, what, 35, 7, that's almost 4 times more than
Mhm.
what it used to be when she first built the shed.
Mm-hmm. A lot of artists that I know, they started posting memes about a year ago about how the cost of, like, plywood and, like, wood costs are now more than gold. And it's, like, not, I don't think it's true, but it's funny because the way they frame it in memes, of course, it's super hilarious. So, I don't know. If I find some of those, maybe we'll put them on the screen for you.
And my uncle's a silversmith, and he's always talking about, like, the rising costs of silver.
Yeah.
It's, like, always going up.
Mm-hmm.
Always going up. It's never going down.
Yeah. So definitely noticed it. It's crazy too because, like, where I work, we were fortunate enough to receive a bonus at the beginning of the school year because a lot of families were hit with inflation.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, as we know, you know, when it's time to take your kids back to school shopping, it always hits the budget hard. And for us, we have 6 kids in school right now. And so it's a lot of money to take them shopping for back to school and to take them, like, clothes shopping for fall. So, you know, anyways, the bonus that we received had nothing to do with us personally. It was just given to all of the full-time staff who work there, which was amazing. It was a really, really nice thing because like in the past we would get like little gift cards around Thanksgiving. They're like $20, and I'm like,
I'll buy a pie with this.
I know, like, thanks. But this time it was a substantial bonus that everyone received, and I was really shocked that there was one person that was in opposition to it, and this is someone who is actually like, oh, I shouldn't mention this, never mind. But they're like supposedly all about the people, and this is the main person that was like, they don't need it. Like this person is so disconnected from the realities of people that live on the Navajo Nation, who have children, who are supporting families, you know what I mean? And working for a salary in public education. Like, that's not like a big money maker, you know what I mean? And so this person was advocating, like, saying, no, they don't need it. And they had to be set straight by, yeah, and I was just like, wow, this person is so freaking two-faced and disconnected, and like they say one thing, but in practice, completely different. So anyways, a lot of us have been hit by it, and I guess the next question is like, how has your family been affected?
Well, I don't know how to answer this one. Okay, so for us in my family, we work with computers. And with the inflation and the recession, there's no computer tech store on the reservation, so we have to look elsewhere off. But there's been people who are, I guess, mining or collecting or bulk buying computer parts and then reselling them at a jacked up price. And I think it's mainly with Bitcoin. That whole thing. And so when I need to upgrade my 10-year-old computer, it was really hard to find a decent priced graphics card so I could do my editing, because I had to get a new editing software, and it was like, you need a higher editing. Like, for the newer software, you need a better graphics card. I'm like, okay, we gotta find the graphics card. And it was so hard to find one at a decent price, because if you go to like the regular computer stores, they're all sold out, because there's people just buying like 30, 40, 50 of them at a time and then reselling them at like twice, 3 times more.
Dang.
And that's kind of how my family's been with the recession and stuff. It's just like hard to get computer parts, mainly, with like China and everything, one of the main manufacturers of computer chips.
Yeah.
And all of those prices going up. So, the reservation should build, like, a computer chip factory.
I know, right? Like, there's opportunities out there, people. Yeah, I think, like, my family's been affected. What I've noticed, in addition to gas prices going up, is the cost of food. Food is, like... So we go shop... where we live, there's not even a grocery store in our community. We have to go really, really far away. And right now, at the local gas station, where they do have a limited supply of food, it's like, $8 for a gallon of milk. And, everything else is really expensive. Like, even ramen. Like, what the hell? Like, this stuff used to be like a quarter, really? And so everything's expensive now, and I've had to be really careful with our budgeting, and like the cost of living is definitely greater, and I've noticed it, like, so I just have to be really careful. And over the summer we were kind of doing some pro bono work, like on a volunteer basis to help out somebody. Ew, what are we gonna say? But we were engaged in that all summer, and it freaking hit our budget so hard, like our finances so hard, because like we were driving all over the Navajo Nation. We were like, hauling materials. We were when you're not at home, you're oftentimes eating out. You know what I mean? And so like it was crazy. Like, we actually ended up like living paycheck to paycheck, which is something we freaking hate to do. Like, we're always like, trying to do our best so that we're not in that situation. And thankfully we're able to cover all of our bills and our costs.
Mm-hmm.
But we would literally start running out of money, and we'd have a few days that were like, we can't do anything right now. You know what I mean? Like we can barely breathe just to make it to payday. And it was crazy because we hadn't, like, I know, like, for some people that's their everyday, but like,
it's so stressful.
It's stressful, yeah, and it's just like, dang, like, I'm trying not to live like this, you know what I mean? And trying to, like, keep savings. Like, I actually had to dip into my savings over the summer, and I started trying to take on other jobs, too, aside from my 9 to 5, or my 8 to 5, because I was like, I need to pull in more funds, you know what I mean? And so I started doing side jobs that were, that didn't pay off until later. So kind of got a little windfall at the beginning, but still, like, you know, it was noticeable, you know, and being stressed out like that, it sucks. And having to dip into your savings to cover like a freaking phone bill or something, you know what I mean, is a lot. So yeah, I've noticed it. There has been like a kind of there has been stress attached to it. And I think like our main priority is to try to like give our children what they need, but not excess.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've noticed that too, because during times when we're trying to be economical, they're just kind of like, why are we, like, I don't know, they notice it, you know, we're just like, we have to say no more often, I guess. Not that we say yes all the time, but, you know, it's just kind of like, it becomes almost like all the time, and they're just like, kind of like, oh, what's going on, you know? So, I don't know, I think it's like, it sucks, yeah.
Yeah, with us, with our business and Happy Accidents, like, because I guess our target audience or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
people we do commission work for, are also being hit by the recession.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of people kind of see what we do, like videography, digital artwork, and everything, as like a luxury for small businesses. And it kind of is, it kind of isn't, depends on who you talk to about, you know,
I mean,
growing your business.
But, yeah.
But like the way natives and Navajos run their business, it's always like DIY. I'll do without until I have to have it.
Mm-hmm.
For like mostly like the roadside businesses and the people around here.
Yeah.
So just the idea of like spending a couple $100 on like a 30-second video, they're like, is it really worth it?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of is. Just put it out there, depending on how well you use
it's totally
your
worth
social
it.
media.
You guys need it. Hit up Happy Accidents.
But like, you know, like a lot of our clientele are also small businesses, so when they
Mm-hmm.
start having to tighten the purse strings, they're not paying us, so we have to tighten our purse strings, and it's definitely a domino effect
Mm-hmm.
in the economy.
Yeah. What are you doing to cut costs and stay on budget?
For me, I guess, well, I've kind of always lived on the budget that we've had now,
Mm-hmm.
so we've always, like, it fluctuates time and time, but like we always pay our bills,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all we've been doing.
Yeah.
I know sometimes we get like that little money itchy need to spend on a little splurge,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, I know me and my husband will get cranky if we can't buy the pretty thing we want.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to like, okay, we want this, so we're gonna kind of cut down on this thing, and then you can get it, okay? And it's usually like a $50 game or whatever, because my husband's a gamer and he likes playing games, or I like my pretty knickknacks,
Mm-hmm.
or like going to a movie or something.
Yeah.
So we try to budget it out, but we definitely don't like. We make sure our bills are covered first, and bills are always consistent. We don't have like surprise bills.
Yeah. For me, I haven't got my nails done in a long time. And I don't get my hair done regularly anymore. This year I got my hair done once because I kind of like, so all year I was like, I'm going to save my money. I'm going to be careful. You know, I'm not going to do like spend things unnecessarily. But my hair got kind of crazy. And so I went to my stylist and she did it for me. But that was like a couple months ago. And so, I mean, I kind of feel like I need to go back just looking at my ends and everything. But I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm like, no, I gotta stick it out for the rest of the year. So, because those are some of the, like, those are the luxury things, you know what I mean? Like, getting massages, getting my hair done, getting my nails done. Things like that are things I really enjoy. Getting facials, you know, like pampering myself. I love doing those things, and oftentimes I'm like throwing cash down to do them. But like this, like because of the way things are right now, I'm just like they're not necessary, so I'm not spending mass amounts of money to do that. And I haven't really gone shopping in a long time either, like for things that I want. I'm being more careful about that. Um, and like that's something I like to do too, you know what I mean? But I'm not really doing it as much. And I guess like as far as staying on budget, my husband and I are we have good communication about money, so like we're trying to like priority is to pay our bills, but we're also trying to put like a little bit aside every payday, you know what I mean? Because we want to build up our savings. And before we could put down like a couple hundred every month, you know what I mean? That was like the norm, and that's how we built up our savings. But this year, now we're like just putting like $20-$50, you know what I mean, every 2 weeks, which is like, it feels like nothing, but it pays off.
I mean, I don't even have a savings really, just the bare minimum to keep the account open, and that's just because, like we said, like our money comes from other people, other small businesses.
Yeah.
So if they're not making money, they're not hiring us, so we're not making money. So we're kind of like, we have a couple of contracts that are keeping us afloat right now, but hopefully later on it'll get better. But.
Yeah. I know, it's
because we're fully self-employed at the moment.
Yeah, you are. I know, like, lately, I mean, this is kind of, I don't know, lately I've really, really been wanting to just be a stay-at-home mom. I've been feeling that, like, urge. You know, like just in the past couple of days, I was like, man, I wish I could just be a stay-at-home mom, you know, and just, like, take care of the kids, take care of the house, and focus on my studies. Like, that would be such a luxury. You know what I mean? Like, it would be so nice to do that, especially during the fall and winter. Like, I could read books for pleasure. Like, all my birthday books, those would be read. Those would be read. Like, there would be pies made. You know what I mean? Like, dinner would be on time. The house would be super clean. And I would be getting all A's. You know what I mean? Like, I would have that ability. I know it. But, you know, I know that having a job is a privilege. It's an honor. And I love the work I do, so I do it. But I do get that, like, I do wish that I could sometimes, you know, just be a stay-at-home mom and, like, focus on that and not have to worry about, like, all the things that I'm doing. And it's getting kind of, like, at the end of this year, I'm going to be putting down one big thing that I've been doing for almost 2 years now. So I'm happy about that. That's going to free up some time. And then by next summer, I'll be able to put down another big commitment that I've made that I can kind of, like, you know, I will have served my time and I can move on to something else. It'll free up another big chunk of my time. And so I'm happy about that. And I really think that after that, I think I'm going to just, like, not try to jump in on all these, you know, like, I tend to do that. Yeah. I tend to, like...
Yes, I'll do all the things.
All the things, and it's too much. You know what I mean? And I'm just, like, I feel like I just want to focus on, like, my work and my school. You know what I mean? It's like, and my family, of course, you know what I mean? Because I don't know. I don't think I'm missing out on too much. Like, I do my best to carve out time for everything, but it's exhausting, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And some people want to be a stay-at-home mom. Me, I don't. I'm not. Yeah. Like, my grandma, she got me a mug that says, I don't cook, I don't clean, I'm a trophy wife. Because she's always like, well, Kelsey, why don't you do the dishes? Like, Gernon does the dishes, Grandma. Gernon does this. Gernon does that.
Yeah. I know. And, like, my husband, he's always told me that if I ever want to do that, I can. You know, he can definitely take care of us. But there's things that I want to do next year that include international travel. for not just me, but for others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm working really hard for, because international travel is freaking expensive. And I also have tuition to pay, too, for my son and myself. So those are, great opportunities, great things to do and be, and a great education, but all of it comes at a cost.
Yeah.
None of it's free. So that's why I'm, like, really hustling. Like, I need to do the best I can and use try to tap into every stream of income, you know what I mean? And, like, use that so that I can pay for these costs and still be okay. And if I just decide to, like, put it all down and quit my job, like, then, it's going to take some of those other options away, because those are, like, things that, they're just for fun. Like, I want to go away on vacation for, like, a few weeks. And I'm willing to work to afford to do that. So that I know that while I'm away, the kids are taken care of, you know what I mean? They have everything they need. Them and whoever's taking care of them is going to have food and gas money, and it's all going to be taken care of. Everyone's going to be okay, and we can go away and enjoy our vacation, which I'm willing to work for, you know what I mean? I don't mind pushing myself to afford to do that, because I think it's worth it.
Yeah, it's always like
give
and take.
Yeah, it is. So even though I want to stay home and just be like a stay-at-home mom and read my books and bake and clean, because I really do love doing those things. Like, I love, I like my home to be a certain way. You know what I mean? And so I've actually I redid my whole, I redid the house recently, because I was supposed to be writing a paper, and and I was sitting there and I was like, I can't think in this house. Like, the floors need to be mopped, and like, I didn't like the way it felt. And I was watching these YouTube videos too on, like, updating your house for fall. Yeah, like, we're gonna decorate for fall kind of thing. And so I was just like, I was also like not wanting to write the paper either. So I sent everyone away for the day, and I ended up, well, it was just me and my daughter. We cleaned, like, we deep cleaned the house, and we redecorated. We even moved things around, like furniture. And it was like a big deal. And now the house looks beautiful, and I love it. And I even ordered some furniture, like, you know what I mean? Like, my husband ordered some furniture that we can add to it. So, like, it looks and feels the way I want it to, and it's going to continue. But, like, I couldn't do that, you know what I mean? If I was like, I'm going to quit my job, you know what I mean? Then I would have to be on a budget, like a tight budget, And I'd probably have to be like, babe, can I have some money? And I just don't want to do that. Like, I want to be able to have my own money and spend it however I want. You know what I mean? If I want to buy a new bullet journal, I want to be able to do that. If I want to buy an overpriced planner, I want to just be able to do it. If I want to buy new stamps or stickers or washi tape, I want to be able to be like, I have my own money to buy this. If I want to buy a bunch of Navajo Tea Time merch, I can. You know what I mean? Like, if I want to, like, it's just nice to have your own money. And I just don't ever want to be that person that's, like, having to ask my husband for permission or for money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the way that feels. And I don't know. It just, to me, it feels gross. And I know that's also, like, something that some stay-at-home moms have to do. So I'm just like, oh, is it worth it? And I'm like, no, it's not. I won't go to work today. But yeah, those are the struggles of a modern day woman in America. Ew. Anyways, so that's our talk on inflation.
So just, like, going back to, like, you saying, like, sometimes you want to stay at home and clean or whatever.
Yeah.
This one time, Gordon was working on, like, a really big project, and I know he had a project, but the dishes weren't getting done. I'm like, I need to do the dishes. I need to do the dishes. I literally thought myself into a migraine.
No.
Because I was trying to bring the will to do the dishes, because I know he had a project he needed to do, but I hate doing the dishes.
I did the dishes yesterday, and it was only because it was Mike's birthday. And I'm like, it's his birthday,
but,
so
like, the fact that, like, I
can
conjured a migraine because I was trying to get the will to do the dishes, and it's like, migraine. I'm like, I can't do this. I got a migraine. I thought myself into a migraine because I was trying to find the motivation to do the dishes.
It's funny.
The power of the mind.
I know, right?
I mean, like, does that help audience member who asked this question? Are there more questions you want to ask or more input you want to put into? Should we bring someone who actually has a business degree or economics degree and think about how the whole economy works and talk to them about that? Because
we're just talking about our own personal stuff and and I think a lot of people can identify with what we're talking about, gas prices and food prices and not getting your hair done every now and then. You know what I mean? Like, you'd want to. But, yeah, it would be nice, I think, to have a guest on who's, who can actually speak to the economic climate right now. Yeah. Or would that be boring? Or do you want to bring someone on who's an actual housewife? That would be cool.
I don't know any.
I don't know any either. I know all the women I know are, working, running businesses.
That's my familial line is, they're all roadside beet sellers. They own a shop in Scottsdale, and, they're always working. And I have, maybe 2 or 3 uncles. So if you want us to bring on someone who's more learned.
Someone more learned.
He's someone more educated in the field of economy and monies and stocks and all that stuff. Let us know and we'll try and find someone. Or maybe you are and you want to talk about economy.
That would be cool. We would love to have a guest on that can talk to these things or speak on these things because, Kelsey and I, this is not our area of expertise and we're being very honest about that and upfront. But I do want to remind everybody that, this is an audience choice topic. And so every single month we choose an audience choice topic. So please, if you have a recommendation or something you want us to speak on or talk about, you can put it in the comments below and we will do that because we've been doing that for the past few months. And so we do appreciate your input and your questions.
And we did put this one off a whole month because I was still unsure on how to talk about it and still kind of unsure because economics.
Yeah, I know. I mean, and this is specifically on the Navajo reservation. You know what I mean? Across America, we know there's a lot of factors contributing to inflation and the recession. A lot of it is linked to things like the war in Ukraine, politics. We know the stock market has really been fluctuating lately. And then we have a lot of climate disasters that are happening right now. There's Hurricane Ian and other things going on.
The fires.
We have cold fronts, fires, flooding. So, all of these things are contributing factors to, the economic instability. On the Navajo Nation specifically, though, I think a lot of us are being hit hard by gas prices just because the norm for us on the Navajo Nation is we do have to travel long distances to do, our shopping, business, meet with family, all of that. That's our norm. And, people who don't live on the Navajo Nation, they get they get fussy and they have a fit if they have to travel 30 minutes to go somewhere. That's too far, I'm just going to stay home. For us, we travel hours and hours just to visit our friends.
Or just to get milk.
Right? And it's crazy. And so, we're definitely getting hit hard by that. And I think that, the way we can move forward together as a people is just having a little bit of empathy for one another, knowing that times are hard, and if you do have the opportunity to help others who are in need, why not? That's a part of our culture. That's who we are as a people.
And support small businesses.
That's a great way. Yeah, it's a great way to move things forward because small businesses really are the backbone, I think, of the Navajo Nation economy. That's what we don't talk about. And that's what we should talk about.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, because, small business development on the Navajo Nation, the underground gray or illicit economy that exists, it's there, it's real, and it feeds families, it puts food on the tables, it pays the bills. Mm-hmm. So, support small businesses, especially because it's fair season, too. Yeah.
Well, the end of fair season when this comes out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
you know, the bazaars.
All the bazaars, yeah, all the bazaars. There's going to be some end of year campaigns happening. There's going to be fundraising opportunities. There's going to be coat drives, donation drives. But all the bazaars, that's where a lot of our artisans come out and they sell. So support from them. Buy your gifts from Navajo businesses. Yeah.
Oh, that's one thing I also wanted to make an announcement of. Like, I know November and December, I think they have, like, what, Giving Tuesday in one of those months?
November
both of those?
29th.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you have, like, a donation or a giving thing event.
Yeah, like a giving event or
a giving
fundraiser.
event, let us know and we can try and promote it for that month on our social media, on YouTube. Maybe we can do little shorts.
Yeah. And we should do something too for is it Small Business Saturday?
I think that's like a thing.
And then we can support, it's usually around Black Friday. So there's Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and then Cyber Monday. So those are opportunities to support as well. Mm-hmm. And if for some crazy reason you want to support Navajo Tea Time, you can do that. We're not going to beg you for your money, but it's helpful. But we were here to also help and promote other businesses too, because we're like all about that.
For sure. Mm-hmm. All right, so bye.
Bye. Thank you for joining us on Navajo Tea Time. Haguanat.